A number of years ago, I read a study, and it said that if you took all of the money in the world, and if you took it away from everybody that presently has it, and if you redistributed that money equally to the 6+ billion people in the world today, within 3 years, the same people would have the money back. I have heard many stories, and I'm sure you have as well, about people that have won lotteries. And unfortunately, too often, within 3 years, they're right back to their original financial position. The question we need to ask ourselves is, how could this be true? How could we take all the money in the world, distribute it equally to everybody, within 3 years the same people have the money back? Well, the answer is rather simple. Because, see, people in the world that have abundance of money do very specific things with their money. And the people in the world that have a scarcity of money, they do very specific things with their money as well. They're just different things. So in other words, the basic fundamental between the rich and the poor is the rich invest first and spend the rest, and the poor spend first and invest the rest. And if we spend first and invest the rest, how much is left? We know generally not very much. But if we would always invest a percentage of every dollar that we earn first and then spend the rest and pay ourselves first, that is the first step to financial independence. There are so many stories in the world of people that earned average incomes their whole life and who retired financially independent and very comfortable. And there's also many, many stories of people that earn large incomes and they struggle their whole lives with money and never achieve financial freedom. So what is the major difference between the two? They have a different formula. That's it. They take different actions. They do different things to produce different results. If the people that are poor today would do what it is the rich are doing, guess what? Just like the rich, they would become rich. However, if the rich would start doing today what it is the poor are doing with their money, they would very quickly become poor. See, the complete difference between the rich and the poor is not how much money they earn. It is what they do with the money that they earn. It is a plan that they have for the money. Would this principle apply to every area of our life? It would. If you could learn what people are doing that have deep, loving relationships and do the same, if we could learn what the people are doing that have an abundance of health, vitality, and energy, then we can go out there and we can produce a similar result if we would just do what it is they're doing. Success leaves clues. What is most important to understand is that any result can be produced in life if we would just search out and find the people that are producing that result and then make a commitment to do what it is they do. It is critical to understand that your success is not dependent on where you were born, what country you were born in, what religious faith you worship, whether you're married, single, or divorced, whether you're short, tall, whether you're skinny or fat, whether you're formally educated or self-educated. What matters for us to succeed in any area of our life, to develop deep levels of peacefulness and fulfillment, what matters for us to develop deep, loving relationships, what matters for us to become financially independent and financially free is, first of all, we must believe in ourselves. Everything starts with us. As I said, it's not who you think you are that's holding you back. It's who you think you're not. There is a great saying, we are either growing or we are dying. And by listening to this program, you have shown your genuine interest in growing. And always remember, there is more in each and every one of us than we are presently demonstrating. And the excitement in life is discovering the wonderful opportunities of tomorrow and beyond. I've heard so many people say that life is boring. And I look at them with a big smile and I say very respectfully, life isn't boring. You have just created a boring life. I remember I read a book, and it said in the book that research has shown beyond the shadow of a doubt that we are going to be dead longer than we're alive. Now, I don't know if you like that or not, but it is true. And listen to this. If we live to be 75 years old, that means we have approximately 657,000 hours in our life. That's it, 657,000 hours. Now, I know that I've used up about half of mine, but how about you? And my theory is if we only have 657,000 hours in our life, and obviously many are already used up, let's make it extraordinary. If we are going to live, let's live well. If we're going to be married, let's make it great. If we're going to be a parent, let's be a great parent. If we're going to go to work, let's do our job well. Let's love what we do and express ourselves. If we're going to build a business, then you want to know something? Let's go out there and build a great one and bring tremendous value to the world. Life to me is very much like a holiday here on earth. And just like every holiday, life has a beginning and life has an end. And we can choose whatever we want in between. We can choose to make it exciting. We can choose to make it boring. We can choose to make it extraordinary, or we can choose to make it ordinary. We can choose to explore and experience all the great wonders available to us, or we can choose to have a boring daily routine. What we do with our life is truly a choice, and to say it's not is a limiting belief, and that is what would be holding us back right there. Let's live our life in such a way that we wear out, not rust out. That way, when we're lying on our deathbed, we think to ourselves, I'm glad I did, rather than I wish I had. When we pass, let's be laying there with a great big smile on our face of fulfillment and satisfaction.